What's good, everybody? I'm going to be talking about Sigilyph, who has some really cool, really simple buffs and changes in this hack, as always. But before I get into that, I want to have a quick little disclaimer. If you did happen to just be clicking on this video, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are listening to my videos in general and you have yet to do so, definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. I just hit 1K, and I'm trying to get to the next milestone, so I appreciate that, everybody. But with that being said, I want to have a little disclaimer to check out the description below. Sorry, that was a very roundabout way of saying that, but yeah, check out the description below, because in there you can find a link to the same Google Sheets that I use in all my videos, and you can check out all 600 plus custom move buffs and changes, as well as 130 plus custom brand new moves. On the Google Sheet right here on the Search All Moves tab, there's also a bunch of other useful tabs here on the bottom that you can use to learn about the hack and all this other cool new stuff like held item buffs and you type chart, small changes to the type chart and other random stuff like that. But with that being said, Sigilyph, I love Sigilyph, by the way. Sigilyph is fucking sick. Really cool Pokemon. Sadly, no Tinted Lens. Reason being, Noctowl is a Psychic and Flying type with Tinted Lens. And Noctowl, stat-wise, needed it a lot more than Sigilyph does. As much as I fucking love Tinted Lens Sigilyph, like, it's so awesome, it's not gonna work. Noctowl kind of needed it more, and Noctowl's other ability is really good as well. You can go check out that video, or just look at the Google Sheet below and check out the Noctowl buffs there. But that's the reason for Sigilyph losing Tinted Lens. And then Wonder Skin is not very useful, especially in game, because AI using status moves is not uncommon, but it's not the most important thing. Like, oh my god, T-Wave is 50% accurate, how good? No, it's not that big of a deal. Especially because it's a lot less volatile for the player, because you can just, it's like Draft League in the sense where you can prepare for every boss fight, so you can just slap on a berry to heal from the status if it's that debilitating for you. But yeah, Sigilyph has some other really cool new buffs and abilities. So stat-wise, it just received a very, very good, vibe-wise, Sigilyph strikes me as similar to Bronzong and Claydol, which is, oh, I forgot Ancient Force. No! Let me go add that really quickly. I completely forgot about that. Hold on. I forgot to do that. I am putting that in right now. That's a really cool new move. It functions like Judgment, so that gives him any type of coverage move. I'll actually put that in. I gotta make this font smaller. Sorry, everybody. I will add this in the files at the end of the video. I'm not even gonna do it now. I won't forget. This can go at like 67 or something. I don't know. But Ancient Force is really cool. That's 120 base power with the plate, and that becomes any type in the game. Obviously, that does take up your held item slot, but it's really useful, especially on Neuroforce sets. Speaking of, that's what I'm going to talk about now. With speed tier wise, much better speed tier. He looks pretty speedy. Sweltering, he's a psychic type. He's this weird alien, ritual, tribal, totem pole-esque guy. He's so cool, by the way. He's like a dream catcher, I think. I don't know. I just really like Sigilyph. It's a cool-ass design. I love weird Pokemon like this. And Sigilyph, sorry, I was going to say, Bronzong and Claydol and all these other Pokemon are also 550 base stat total. It just fits their vibe, in my opinion. And I also I think Sigilyph kind of deserves it anyways. Hold on, Ancient Force. I got to add him to the little guide here. All these other dudes, you can see all the other Pokemon that get it so far. There'll be more coming up, but I might give it to some of the fossils, but for some reason I don't like it on them. But I might give it to some of the fossils. I don't know. Like Almastar and a couple of the other special attacking ones, Cradilly, Aurorus, that kind of stuff. But anyway, this would load, please. I would like to talk about, yeah. So 133 base special attack, incredible. Obviously, all the power creep in the hack. It's not anything like absolutely absurd, but he is very fast. And has a good speed stat and is very tanky overall. 72, 80, 95 is very solid for an offensive fast Pokemon like this. Neuroforce is great. So Magic Guard is actually not that good in game. Fun fact, I was heavily considering guarding Gale over Magic Guard, which would be a much more useful ability. Guarding Gale is essentially Delta Stream, but I figured people would complain about losing Magic Guard even if it's not that good, because it's not that good in game. I know that sounds crazy, because a competitive Magic Guard is like one of the best abilities of all time, because you're immune to hazards and you're immune to passive damage, which is a lot more important in competitive. But in game, like, it's not like it's useless. I mean, being immune to poison is nice, but the main way that the AI will be poisoning you is with T-spikes, probably, or moves that always poison. So I don't know. It's not like it's bad or anything. It's just kind of underwhelming compared to any other ability I could give it. But it is kind of anti-soul. Hazards are not very common in game at all, like ever. So it's really just for like, oh, If I have like a Sandstorm or Hailmon, I'm not taking damage from that. And then most importantly, the main use of Magic Guard in game is Life Orb, right? Slap the Life Orb on, you get a free 30% boost to your 133 base special attack. That's very, very strong, and you take 0% recoil from that. That's really nice. You know, that's the one major pro of it. But then you realize their other ability is Neuroforce. And Neuroforce is a very fitting ability. I like to give it to these alien vibe Pokemon, these weird looking guys. I think Starmie has it as well. Tentacruel, a couple other guys are gonna have it. I think it's just who else has it right now. Load please. It's Tentacruel, Starmie, Deoxys. That's what else has it. Yeah, Deoxys and Sigilyph. So that kind of gives you the vibe of who has it right now. But sorry, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit. Neuroforce is great. Neuroforce is actually stronger than Magic Guard if you're hitting super effectively. And with Sigilyph's incredible coverage, it already had great coverage, right? But I gave it even more. So not only do you have Agent Force later on, but most importantly, you have stuff like Mystical Fire, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Earth Power, Heat Wave, Flash Cannon, Energy Bolt, Ice Beam, Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Scorching Sands. Like you've got because he lives in the desert, by the way, if you're wondering why I gave it that. It's just got all kinds of beautiful coverage. I love Sigilyph, Signal Beam, all this really powerful stuff. There's nothing in the game you can't hit super effectively for the most part. So, and the beautiful thing is you do have access to the trainer documents, and you do have access to infinite usability capsules, so you can run Magic Guard Life Orb, and then for the next boss fight, you can run Expert Belt plus Neuroforce. Expert Belt did receive a buff, by the way. It now gives a 25% boost as opposed to a 20% boost. So instead of basically Neuroforce plus Expert Belt used to be 50% if you stack it. Now it's 56.5? 25, hold on. 1.25, oh my god, 1.25 times 1.25 is 1.56, yeah. Did I say 6.5? I meant 5.6. It's like 5-6% stronger than it used to be overall, which is pretty good. Very good actually. That's really nice. And of course, keep in mind that also stacks with Stab. It makes it very strong. Neuroforce plus Expert Belt, very, very powerful. Even lower base power, super effective attacks will be doing a lot massive damage. For example, Mystical Fire and Ominous Wind and stuff, which are also very good utility moves because Ominous Wind and Mystical Fire now always drop the opponent's attack and special attack by 1, both attack and special attack. So that's awesome. Other kinds of really cool move buffs and changes here, you should check those out. All these coverage moves are like a lot stronger. For example, Flash Cannon is very powerful, that 110 base power. All this fun stuff. So those are all really good. Okay. That's beautiful. Neuroforce, beautiful ability. You can swap that on with the ability cap, so whenever you're running coverage, you can run full coverage and counter whatever's on the opponent's side, you know, trainer battle-wise, and you can just hit everything super effectively. Or you can just run Magic Guard plus utility moves, because Sigilyph is also a great utility Pokemon, and then you don't have to worry about coverage. You can just run Magic Guard, Life Orb plus Stab, maybe one coverage move, and then you know, whatever else you want to run. That's the beautiful thing about this hack is you have so much customizability. Not only do you have the ability capsules, you also have infinite EV training. So you can run bulky sets for some fights. You can run purely offensive sets for other fights. You can switch around your TMs and tutor moves at will. That's really nice. Obviously, there's no move relenter, but I mean, there is, but it's very late into the game still. I can't move that or change it. But, you know, still very good nonetheless. Otherwise, you have very powerful stab moves late game as well. Aeroblast is 98 base power overall. It's 65, but it always crits, and that works great with something like Psycho Boost, which drops your special attack stat by 2. So, you know, you click you click Psycho Boost, and then you click Aeroblast and ignore the special attack drop with the crit. That's really nice. Ancient Force I already covered, but that's great. And then lastly, one of the best things you get is Psycho Shift plus Stored Power. Z Psycho Shift gives you +1 to all of your stats. It's kind of overpowered for a Pokemon with good stats like this, but Psycho Shift is like Sigilyph's move in my eyes, so I can't remove that from him. And I already made it an Omni Boost because like the move's kind of useless in game. Otherwise, it's not bad in competitive because you can run like, you know, Flame Orb, Magic Guard, Psycho Shift, but you could still technically do that, I think, but it's level 70. The main advantage of that is, of course, just the Omni Boost. That's the main advantage of that. And then you can use that with Neuroforce, and you can just spam your super effective moves, or Magic Guard, I guess, if you really wanted it, but you would be holding a Z Crystal, so it's pretty much useless unless you have Weather on your team or something, and you don't want to take Hail Chip or something, otherwise it's very situational. That's why I want a Guardian Gale, by the way, because Magic Guard is extremely situational in-game on a Pokemon like this when their other ability is already boosting. If their other ability was like Guardian Gale, then Magic Guard, Guardian Gale would be pretty good combination, because you got the Life Orb and you got the defensive stuff with Guardian Gale, but I like Neuroforce a lot on them, so it was kind of like a toss-up, you know. And I know people are going to complain if I remove Magic Guard. Also, for the eventual Showdown server, it's pretty cool to have Magic Guard, obviously, because there's no heavy-duty boots, so that's pretty nice. But that Showdown server is not a main focus of this hack. This hack is not balanced for competitive play whatsoever. Even if you tried to make a metagame that would work, there's so much variance, and every Pokemon can do so many things well that it would be absolute hell to play. It would be fun, but it would not be competitive. Just a heads up to anybody who's like looking forward to that. I'll eventually make one. I'll have to figure out how to do it, or somebody else can help me. I don't know. Either way, though, sorry, I'm getting very sidetracked. Lastly, though, with Z Cycle Shift, the other main thing you could do is stored power. Stored power becomes 120 base power, and it gives you an extra +1 special attack each time you click it. The downside is it only has 3 PP, so you can't completely sweep the opponent with stored power, but 3 is plenty. By the time you use all 3 up, you'll be +4 special attack, +1 speed, +1 defense, +1 special defense, and stored power on that third use will be 160 or 180 base power, something like that. So that's really strong. It's beautiful. Great move. And then obviously, but at that point, you can just outspeed and kill everything else that's left on the team. So yeah. Although keep in mind, there is still phasing stuff. He is still susceptible to first impression. Beautiful move that completely fucks up all of these defensive boosting guys because it always crits. So it's 60 base power, but it always crits, so that's really good to check fast offensive stuff like this. Even though he's not weak to it, 72-80 is not the best bulk, so a strong Ruthless boosted or a Stab boosted, or even more so, both Stab and Ruthless boosted or Technician boosted or Hustle boosted, whatever else boosted, First Impression will probably just drop Sigilyph in one hit, so, that's a nice little way to check him. Especially if you're fighting against one. That goes for any fast offensive Pokemon. That's always nice. Not to mention you have Sucker Punch as well as a TM. And every Pokemon in general gets priority. Speaking of, Sigilyph does have Influx and Gust, which are dual stab priority moves, which are pretty cool. Not super needed because you are already very fast, but still good to have if you want it. If you just need it for a specific fight, then you can delete it after or something. Yep, that's really about it. Barrier Cosmic Power is good. Hypnosis is 80% accurate, always lasts for 2 turns. You also have Nasty Plot and Calm Mind, so you can get off a free Nasty Plot on the turn after you land Hypnosis, assuming you land, and that will always last for 2 turns, so that's 1 guaranteed turn. And then that third turn, they should be waking up, so you can use Calm Mind twice or Nasty Plot once while they're asleep. Or you can kill them on the turn before they wake up. Either one works. Or the turn they're supposed to wake up, rather, assuming you outsped them. Dream Eater is pretty cool, heals you by 100% HP, 120 base power. Side Strike's very strong. All this fun little stuff you can work around with. So yeah, I could cover a couple other things, but honestly, I'm going to leave it off there. I think I've been talking for long enough. Roost is really cool, obviously. Dual Screens is nice. Volt Switch is nice. All kinds of really cool stuff you can do. So yeah, thanks so much for listening. Great utility Pokemon. Great, just fast offensive Pokemon. I love Sigilyph. Really cool Pokemon. Hopefully you like him as well. Hopefully you like these buffs and changes for him. Hopefully those of you who... You're happy I kept Magikarp, even though it's kind of mid compared to Guardian Gale, which is what I wanted for him, but it's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I'll be back for more Universe Pokemon coming up. Peace. Oh, last thing before I press the stop recording button, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate that a lot. I have 1K, and I'm trying to hit the next milestone, so yeah. Peace, everybody.